Sri PV Mithun Reddy ji.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I must say, post-COVID, the economy is moving in the right trajectory. If you see India's GDP at current prices is estimated to be at 232.15 trillion. And India is the third largest unicorn base. We have around 83 unicorns in our country right now, creating a large number of jobs. And by 2025, it is expected that India will have more than 100 unicorns. And it's a report given by NASSCOM. Even our Honorable Minister Piyush was saying that for the 75 years of independence, there are going to be 75 more unicorns, one per week in the next 75 weeks. It is all very positive to hear about all this. And even if you see exports worth 650 billion is expected in the year 2021-22, which is a positive sign post-COVID, especially after the pandemic, in spite of all these constraints. And if you see India's electronic exports, till December in 2021-22, it has been 67 billion. And it is expected to grow to 300 billion by 25-26. And I should also appreciate the minister for having utilized all the budgetary allocation given in the last year and the previous years. But what surprises me is that there is a reduction in budgetary allocation by 1,919 crores in this current budget. I don't know how they are going to cover this up, because we are talking of improving infrastructure for setting up of economic zones and various other things, but a cut in a budgetary allocation is not the right timing right now. I think we need to push more of infrastructure projects where new companies are set up. And I would also like to say, we always talk about competing with China. There is a 125 billion trade with China. If you see, the exports are only 25 billion, but the imports are 100 billion. We are talking of Atmanirbhar Bharat, but we should not cut budget allocations. We should push and we should support our entrepreneurs to put up more industries. And if you see National Industrial Corridor Development and Implementation Trust, NICDIT, they have asked for allocation of 3,000 crores, but the allocation that has been given to them is 1,500 crores. So it also shows that it's going to delay all the various projects being taken up. And there have been 11 industrial corridors which have been taken up under this head. And we also have one in Andhra Pradesh, the Vizag-Chennai Industrial Corridor with 5 nodes at Visakhapatnam, Machilipatnam, Donakonda and Airport Srikalahasti. So we request the government to give the full allocation of 3,000 crores, what NICDIT has asked, because it should not slow down the projects at this juncture. And one more important issue is this leather sector. The leather sector creates a lot of jobs. It's helping a lot of downtrodden people. Even small entrepreneurs can set up small units. So leather sector should not be neglected. But there's a shortfall in budget allocation by more than 115 crores, which is not good. We should encourage the leather sector by putting them in the PLI, productivity-linked incentive scheme. And if you see, the leather sector is expected to give exports of 6 billion, that's almost 45,000 crores in the next year, 2022-23. So it is a positive sign, but we need to do the right thing and support this sector. And if you see the SEZs, we are talking of economic development. Till now, 358 SEZ units have been notified. In this, only 268 SEZ units are running. And even in this 268, they are not fully operational. So the government should take steps to fully operate all these 268 SEZs and also those which are not working, and all the 358 SEZs should be put to good use. Otherwise, there is no point in coming out with SEZs. They need to be supported. If you see the Northeast, they don't have a SEZ, sir. So we need to give some SEZs in the Northeast so that some industrial development happens there. And the competitive advantage of SEZ units must be protected. One way of doing so is relooking at the quantum of MAT, minimum alternative tax, and removing the sunset clause so that they'll have some flexibility in expanding their businesses. And we should also take into consideration the recommendations by the standing committee, sir. If you see, like, a standing committee has advocated augmenting infrastructure facilities to boost exports. But if to go with this, we can't cut down expenditure we can't cut down the budgetary allocations. So, when I demand that the full budgetary allocations are there, what they've asked for all the infrastructure projects. And we also need to review the intellectual property rights regime in India. We should be on par with throughout the world. Our entrepreneurs and our people should have an advantage. We should give them full support. And export of agriculture and marine products, plantation crops, turmeric and coir should be given a priority, sir. Sir, I will tell you a small example, like what a standing committee has given. It's about human hairs. We produce 80% of the world's human hair, but we only 2% is what value-added products we are doing. And after the standing committee's report, action has been taken to ban exports, sir. After that, there have been almost 8 lakh jobs which have been created. And we are talking of unicorns which are going to create 11 lakh jobs.
Which standing committee report?
Sorry, sir.
The standing committee report on the demands
yes, the standing committee suggested that they ban the exports. And our member Sridhar advocated for that, sir.
I am asking whether it is this demands on grants report.
It's not there in the demand of grants, sir. I am suggesting.
Please, one minister. Yes, please.
And there's one more request from my side, sir. In 40% of the volumes we export in spices is chilies, sir. Chilies is synonymous with Andhra Pradesh, and in this, majority is from Andhra Pradesh, sir. Andhra Pradesh is the largest exporter of chilies, and in that, Guntur almost exports 80% of what produces 80% of what Andhra Pradesh is producing, sir. So I request the government to set up a chili board in Guntur. So I request the government to set up a chili board in Guntur, sir, because it's being part of the spices board. We are not able to focus much on that. A separate chili board will definitely help the farmers, will definitely push export of chilies, and it will be useful for the farmers, sir. Sir, I would also like to get the Honorable Minister is leaving. The Honorable Anupriyaji's attention, sir. This is a request from All India Food Processors Association. There's been an ambiguity in the classification of mango pulp and mango puree, sir. Earlier, GST was fixed at 12%, but now they're asking them to pay at 18%, which is not correct. In spite of clarifications being given by the Horticulture Research Institute that both mango puree and mango pulp are the same, there are lakhs and lakhs of people who are dependent on mangoes, sir. A lot of farmers are dependent on this. And this change in the GST and asking them to pay retrospective with penalties is a huge hit to the farmers. So I request the Honorable Minister, I will even submit a written representation to her, sir. And we want immediate action on this, sir, so that the GST issue is resolved and the ambiguity in this is resolved. It's just a clarification which is required, and it will help lakhs of mango farmers. And I'm sure last time I went with a request to her when she was the health minister, she reacted in 10 minutes. I hope she will do the same thing now. And she helped solve the issue.
Ministry is very responsive.
Yeah. So today, sir, we are talking of unicorns, we are talking of industrial development, but we have to talk about the problems also, sir. There is excessive growth in population and the unemployment is increasing. The unemployment is at 8.5%. 8.5% is huge, sir, and in employment we are ranking in 86th in the world, which is not good for us. So government should focus on creation of employment, sir. It's not just the unicorns which are going to create employment. We should think of MSMEs. We should think of farmers. We should think of various other sectors. We should think of rural economy. Then only we will create more employment, sir. There's very low level of per capita income. We should focus on increasing the income of the rural folk. And there's vast inequality, sir. We have the richest people in the country and we have the poorest of the poor in our country, sir. We are proud of the rich, but we should also support the poor, sir. We should make their livelihoods better. We should work out on different things. And the major thing, sir, what I want to put forward is one is agriculture and one is MSMEs, sir. In agriculture, we are talking of increasing the farmers' income. We are talking of supporting them. On paper, everything is looking perfect, sir. But on the field, you see, sir, before 15, 20 years, in the total GDP, more than 50% was coming from the farmers, sir. In the last decade, it came down to 34%. Now, if you see, it is 14 to 17%. Sir. When the farmer's income is doubling, why is it coming down in the GDP on a regular basis? So this we have to act, sir. Without the farmers, we have 51% of the people who are dependent on agriculture, sir, and they're only generating 14 to 17% in our GDP. So we have to focus on this. We have to help the farmers. Otherwise, we can't create jobs for the whole nation, sir. When farming is profitable, when the farmers are happy, there is work for everybody, the business will boom and the country also will prosper. I would like to state that when the percentage of GDP of the farmers is 14 to 17% in the country, sir. In Andhra Pradesh, it is growing, sir. It is 35% of our state's GDP, sir. 35% is good and every year it is growing. AP is top in egg production, it is second in meat production, and AP is top in aquaculture, sir. We have like 32% national fish production. We have like 36% of seafood exports of the total country, sir, and we are in the top 4 or 5 in milk production, sir. Our CM has started a Rait Bharosa Kendra, sir. For every 5,000 population or even below that in a panchayat, we have a Rait Bharosa Kendra, where the farmers can go and they get 17 services, right from selecting the seeds, and the seed is delivered into that village with all the things that they need not be worried about spurious seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, you name it, you get it in their village, sir. They can even sell the crops there. So I request the government to visit our Raitu Bharosa Kendras, make a study and do, when we can work, synergize together and come out with better solutions for improving the agriculture income and agriculture economy as well, sir. Sir, and MSMEs, if you see, they are under severe stress just because of the NPS of few corporates. Now the whole industry is suffering, sir. They're not able to get loans. The bankers are not treating them right. They're not able to get the money in time for their business. So the government should focus on providing capital for these MSMEs. They're almost, if you see the numbers, we have almost 6.3 crore MSMEs, sir. And post-COVID, everybody has been hit, sir. Their businesses have been hit very badly, and the right time for us to support them. And they are generating 29% towards the GDP, sir, which is very good. And they are the best creators of jobs. We have a healthy MSME system, healthy MSME companies. We are definitely going to generate very good number of jobs. The government should focus on this. And the government also should focus on other things also, sir. I'd also like to recall about our government, sir. AP ranks first in ease of doing business, as given by Department of Industrial Planning and Promotion. And we supported the MSMEs during the COVID, sir. We cleared all their incentives. We made sure that all the MSMEs survived through this pandemic. And for us, sir, for the country to move forward, we have to make use of all our resources, especially mining. Even after the recent tenders, none of the mines are moving. They are stuck for various reasons. I request the Commerce Ministry to coordinate and see that they put a definite timeline where these mines are all operational. No point in having mines and importing material from outside, sir. We are talking of saving money. We are trying to sell companies which are loss-making. But it is a sin if you have the minerals here and we are importing them from abroad, sir. So I think we should take steps for mining to be improved. And I also want to put my things, sir. Like for a car, we have 4 wheels, sir. One is like, we are talking about the top richest people. One, we are talking about the unicorns and all the best things. But we have to have the MSMEs and we have to have the agriculture sector also. If it balances on the 4-wheel, the vehicle will move forward well, sir. Unless we are not balancing them, unless we are not taking care of the rural economy, we will not proceed in the right direction. Long-term planning should be there, sir. Thank you very much for this time.
Thank you. Thank you, Sri Mithun Reddy ji. Next, Sri